Okay, we're live now.
Cool, cool.
And let's wait for some folks to join.
Interesting. Definitely. So, yeah, so as we were discussing, actually, ETH has dropped to $1560. This is a huge disappointment,
Yeah.
especially for, because as we were discussing, BTC is only an asset, but
Mm,
Ethereum, it's like a fuel for the whole infrastructure. It's
yeah,
running a whole
exactly.
global distributed system.
Yeah.
And like considering the normal fuel like which we're using on a day-to-day life, that is like completely increasing.
Mm,
But the fuel which is running a whole software infrastructure in a decentralized, secure, distributed way,
mm,
that fuel is like declining. Like it's had like 3 to 4% on a like daily basis.
yeah, right.
That's really disappointing. So like, what do you think? Like, in which direction is this going for each?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty um I wouldn't say disappointed, but yeah, kind of disappointed because ETH has been like the most it's been the driver of the whole ecosystem in terms of
Exactly.
all the projects initially were built on ETH, and even
Right.
the newer blockchains are kind of inspired by ETH, the virtual machine. Um, Although there are faster blockchains now, but the whole decentralized computer thing uh,
Right.
that started with ETH and EVM. Um, yeah, and developers do get, you know, they might feel disappointed because of this, because that ETH is the uh, you know asset that's being used to pay for gas and
Yeah.
pretty much everything. So
Makes sense. Yeah. Like ETH was literally the foundation of the whole like uh, blockchain systems globally, and there are so many protocols which are built on ETH. There are so many L2s which are built on ETH. Like we ourselves at Kwala are even compatible
right,
primarily. So like this is not just affecting ETH; it is affecting the all the connected protocols,
yeah,
which
right,
are like running on ETH, which are dependent on ETH. So from a developer's perspective, honestly, like the basic purpose of us having ETH is for the transactions, for the gas fees. But I'm not that much into trading and investment. But from a trader's perspective, this is a huge loss, especially for those who are like who invest in huge amounts.
right. And coming to, because you talked about ETH and the activity that's happening on chain
Right.
right now, even though ETH prices are pretty low compared to the past few years, the crypto ecosystem is still growing. It's growing faster than ever,
Exactly. Yeah.
uh, and
Big institutions are happening.
yeah, exactly. And people are actually building use cases that are not just gated inside the crypto community, but building on, connecting with traditional businesses, normal merchants and vendors using crypto for their work, for settling payments, cross-border payments.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
yeah, so
The,
that
the, yeah,
that
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So that kind of that reminds me of today's topic, which is something that we built internally at Kwala.
Right.
Um,
Pretty interesting.
we won't we won't tell you now because because first we have Sahil will cover some pretty cool news that has been happening recently, which is also related to the on-chain activity happening nowadays, and
Right.
product launches and real businesses building using crypto. So I think, Sahil, we can start with
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
yeah.
Great. So, like, just wanted to confirm someone from the YouTube audience could, like, confirm my voice is okay. like it's properly audible. Maybe it will take a few seconds of delay between this call and the stream, but I hope my voice will be properly heard.
Yeah, right. I'll just check with them.
Yeah, if someone could just like quickly ping if it's good to go. Let's jump on the industry trends in Web3.
Hello, Satish. Uh, and who else is there?
Everyone, guys, come on! It's like we are very eager to talk about it.
Yeah, we're really excited about the thing that Sahil is going to share, because it's something that it's a product that I personally would love to use as soon as I get hands on it. So, okay, audio is fine. We can start, Sahil.
Perfect. So thank you for that, guys. So as we are like currently in the middle of AI X Web3 era, so that is what we will be discussing today. So let's jump to the first industry update. It will be very small. So a quick discussion around what's happening in the industry and how it is impacting the whole ecosystem. So yeah, I hope my screen is visible, folks. If could someone just would
Yeah, it's visible.
uh, react to it. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, this is a major turn in the industry. Like Visa and Mastercard are reportedly planning to run stable coins, not fight them. So till now, the thing was that stable coins will replace the traditional fintech system or the fintech infrastructure, and many like experts were kind of not in the favor of it because traditional payment systems are already globally adapted. So to replace the whole system with a stable coin, especially like the digital assets, which are primarily USDT by Tether and USDC by Circuit. So traditionally, like many of the big fintech companies or the banks, they were not very keen about it. But like uh, eventually, the adoption was pretty good. Like the response was pretty great, and the creation or the minting of these assets are pretty well versed, are pretty linked directly to the dollar. So the global trade is more or less like everyone does different dollar, the whole global convergence. So instead of the actual dollar trades, people are switching to stable coins, which more or less work in a similar way, but on a digital level. So yeah, like Visa and Mastercard and Stripe, another fintech payment portal, they are in talks to launch a joint stablecoin platform with Coinbase. So Coinbase, as we all know, it's a big digital asset exchange. They have their own chain, which is based, and it's like one of the cheapest chains. So from a developer perspective, it's really good for the transaction fees and the gas fees. So as you can see, this growth will command like 86% share of $3.3 billion globally. So this is a huge market and it's growing literally like it's huge. And Visa and Mastercard, they already dominate the global payment system. Like it's like more than, if I'm not wrong, it's out of around 200 countries, 180 countries have either or both of them in their payment system. And so they have like billions of users, and now they're switching to stable coins. So it's pretty good, and it's kind of overcoming a lot of limitations like cross-border payment and like instant payments. Then it won't charge you the convenience fees. It will be on-chain. It will be secure. It will be transparent. And stable coins is more or less, like it's as we discussed, it's similar to dollars. So globally, you can convert it as per your local currency, but more or less dollars will be like dominating, as we all can see them now. So Visa and Mastercard are like they have taken a huge jump, and Coinbase is with them. So a great another tech giant in the same sector. So yeah, like this is like reshaping the future of fintech, as we can see. And this is the first part, the first trend which we were trying to discuss. So I hope everyone was very keen to know about this. And let's jump to the second one. This is like the like the favorite one for today. So MoonPay has a big announcement. I'll just play their official tweet. MoonPay has acquired Endentry, which is trusted by these big companies, Katana, Babylon,
They've made a nice video. Okay,
Workday,
on Tondra they have so many clients. That's pretty cool.
Manage. So as we all can see, MoonPay has acquired Endentry. Endentry is basically like the AI agent function for your wallets. So MoonPay will now officially use Endentry in the system to run the all the wallets, to run all the transactions, which the AI agents will do on your behalf. So there's no need to actually physically manage the things, your assets, your wallet. It will all be automated, and more or less, it will boost the stablecoin operations. So as we discussed about the stablecoins part, Endentry is like will be now contributing under MoonPay to expand this the same sector. So the acquisition has now added automation, reconciliation, treasury management. We all have our own treasury, we have our own assets, we have our own custody. So this is where this MoonPay digital asset infrastructure is going to make the difference. So from now onwards, no need to stick to your wallet frequently, look for the trends, frequently do the things yourself, frequently uh, like look at the pump and dump, look at the bear and bull trends in the market. You have your own AI agent, then Entendry builds AI agents that automate reconciliation. So bookkeeping, it will all be recorded, it will be a ledger, treasury, reporting and financial close workflows for companies handling digital assets. And the big customers which are already a part of this, Polygon, ThirdWeb, Braille, Babylon, Ostium, Courtier, and Double Zero, the big names. So these companies are already a part of this uh, infrastructure in which they are using Endentry's built, the AI agents built by Endentry, and now MoonPay has completely acquired it. So MoonPay being a a huge provider, it's a payment interface. So most of the payments will now be taken care by AI. So this will automate 93% of journal entries, reduce manual work by more than half, and close their books 3 times faster. So yeah, like no need to manually keep any records. It will all be automated. You just have to sit and relax. As long as you are sure that your agent is working for you in the desired way. So yeah, like we are living in the AI era. This is AI X Web3. So MoonPay CEO Ivan Soto, right, said stablecoin adoption requires financial operations. So to move at the same speed as digital payments. So stablecoins, as we discussed, is like globally the adoption is increasing, and this will benefit the whole Web3 ecosystem. And MoonPay will be contributing using the Endentry built AI agents. So this is huge, and this is what we will be building today. So super excited to see how these AI agents will now be functioning. So over to you, Rajiv.
Yeah, super cool. Sahil, there's one more thing. Can you just share your screen again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My bad, my bad. Obviously, I hope this is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
So we wanted to give a huge shout out to Back3S for a very interesting reply to our official Kwala page. So the off-chain dashboard drifting from on-chain reality is the whole problem. Reconciliation quietly eats more hours than anyone admits. So a great point. This
Yes.
was
So basically, Entendre, the company that MoonPay acquired, they had accounting software with AI agents inbuilt, and we are basically building something similar. We are building accounting
yeah, right.
software for merchants today using Kwala, uh, like a customized kind of accounting tool. And WAG3 also does something similar. They have their own full-fledged dashboard for accounting. So they shout out to them. Cool.
Yeah, like
Let's.
I guess Vacarious folks will be in the stream right now. They will get their, like if they have any doubts or if they want any resources, we will be providing that to them now.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
let's go for it, Rajdeep. I'll just off
yeah,
sharing my screen.
cool, cool. I'll switch off the call. See you, Sahil.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. See you on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my video. I hope my screen is visible. Just let me know if it's not. Uh, yeah, I hope you can see my screen. It has this black dashboard here, which we built in I think one day, and it shows a lot of financial data, as you might guess. And what is this about? It's basically a merchant dashboard that any business owner can uh, set up for themselves, and it's built using Kwala. It has no back end pretty much, and it's just a front end and some data storage. And we've used Kwala to sync all the on-chain and off-chain data for payments that a merchant might receive. And then we also added parameters like suspicious transactions, classifying the payments into different categories by using Kwala again. And it also gives you a status of the kind of events captured, whether the database where we store data off-chain is synced or not with the on-chain payment receipts. And yeah, it also shows the events that have happened on-chain, like the payment receipt and classification of the payments. So to dig a little bit deeper, this is powered basically by a smart contract which is used by clients or like vendors to send or receive payments from this particular merchant. So let's say I'm the merchant or I'm a business owner, so I've set up my own dashboard using Kwala, and I also have a smart contract where my clients might send me payments. It's similar to setting up a bank account where I might get payments. Some payments might be suspicious, so Kwala automatically tags them. Some payments might be from trusted clients, so those won't be tagged. Those will be classified as safe transactions. And it also shows me any refunds that I might have to do to my clients or any failed payments that they might have done. So we basically have this one contract called merchant payments, and I won't dive too much into the code base, but we've categorized the payments status as pending, confirmed, classified, refunded, disputed, etc. And we've also classified the payments as one, which you can see here obviously is suspicious, and other than that there is unclassified, standard, high value if it's a big payment, or a blocked payment which you could do it yourself. Like as a merchant you could block a particular client yourself. And then we have a bunch of other categories like refund status, which you could again allow the refund or reject, and a lot of other parameters that you could set and view on your dashboard. It also gives you a gist of the volume in the past day, and you could also set up notifications by using webhook calls. So to look at the first contract, which of the first function that is the important one, is the receive payment. So I'll just go there. Yeah, this is the function receive payment. So any client would call this function where like the merchant, so that the merchant you can receive your payment, and it would probably emit some, it would set all the data here, and it would emit an event like an Ethereum event called payment received, right? And here's where Kwala comes in. So whenever a payment is received successfully, this event is emitted, and this is the Kwala dashboard, by the way, and I'll also drop the link in our YouTube chat for your reference. Okay, I've dropped the link on the chat. So if you come to Kwala dashboard, and you will need to create a workflow basically to use this to set up these whatever we've set up to create this merchant dashboard. So our first task is, whenever a payment is received, we want to classify the payment into one of the categories, right? So earlier we saw that the payments can be of these types: unclassified, standard, high value, suspicious, or blocked. So to do that, we'll first go to the Kwala dashboard and create a workflow. So I'll just use the workflow builder and give my workflow a name. I'll just call it onchain play classify trigger, and we'll set a condition, a trigger condition, saying that whenever an event happens, so we'll just select the event type of execution and repeat after every event. We'll set an expiry date about a week from now, and I'll basically paste the contract address. So this is our contract, and I'll copy paste this address here, and our chain is the Ethereum testnet, and select the payment received trigger, right? This is the event that we saw. So whenever a payment is received, and in the recurring config we'll do the same thing, we'll paste the same address and the same event name. What do we want? We basically want to classify the payment into one of those categories. So there's another function called classify payment in the contract itself. So we'll call that function. This is the function, and it takes a payment ID, and it takes a payment ID. And here, if you have a look, we have passed the re.event0. What is this? So if we take a look here, the payment received has the first parameter as a bytes 32, which is basically the payment ID. If you take a look at the event, so first parameter is the re.event0, and it's the payment ID, and that's what we need to pass on to the classify payment function. So this is the first parameter that we have passed, and we've used the Kwala smart wallet to call this classify payment function. And if we take a look at this, you'll see that only there's this modifier called only operator. So only an operator, a registered operator, can call this function. So we've actually set the Kwala smart contract as a registered operator. We could even use our own default, own smart wallet here using Kwala to be the operator. So it's totally safe. No one else can call these functions. Your smart contract is safe, and you don't even need to handle any private keys for this. So this is basically the action, and the action is calling a smart contract, and this is our smart contract on Sepolia, and this is the parameter we are passing. So that's all we are doing in this first workflow. You just need to create the workflow, and this one is already created. You need to compile, save, and deploy it, and it's just like a 10-second process. And what this will do is do the classification, and once that's done, there's one event called payment classified that will be emitted. And once this event is emitted, we want this data to be synced off-chain, right, to our any off-chain store, because we might just need it later on. We might want it to be on our dashboard and maybe somewhere else other than the smart contract as well. So to do that, we have the second workflow, which we are calling on-chain pay post sync. It's pretty much the same. We are watching for an event, execute after an event, and here the contract is again the same contract. We are using our merchant payments contract on Sepolia, and the trigger this time is the payment classified event, right? And the recurring config is the same, payment classified event. And what are we doing here? We've got actually two actions here. First is sync to DB. What this does is syncs all this data off chain, because right now this event is on chain. We want it to be off chain in our front end as well as our database in case we want to store it. So we've set up a Redis instance just in case some people might just want it off chain. And we've created this post API route in our front end itself, in our Next.js front end. So you don't really need a server for this. It's totally a Next.js based route. So we are sending a post request here with this particular payload. The payload is payment ID is the 0th parameter. If you take a look at this, the first or the 0th parameter is payment ID. Then there are a few more parameters. The second is the classification type, then the merchant and the amount. So we are passing all these parameters in our payload so that it gets synced to our database or off-chain store. And the second action is kind of similar. It's like hitting a webhook in case you want to connect this to any other app like your Slack or your Telegram or WhatsApp or any other app to get notifications. You could directly hook it up with the Telegram or Discord API as well to get alerts quickly for these events. And this reminds me, you can also set up low balance or other kind of alerts in case the merchant has like let's say I'm the merchant, I have set some deadlines for getting the payments, that okay, this particular client is supposed to pay me by 28th June, so I want a notification on 28th June that remind them that they should send their payments over by this date. Or if let's say I owe them something and I don't have balance in my wallet or in my treasury, so I should get a notification that okay, you don't have enough balance or you don't have enough gas to pay for these vendor payments. So you could do all those kind of things. So you can have multiple actions like this, and you simply deploy this, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And it kind of shows you the status of your DB thing. So if you have a look, all of my events have been captured. Kwala has processed 21 of the 27 events. DB is synced about almost halfway. We haven't set up webhooks, so it's 0, and the dashboard is fully updated. And you could also see the volume of the transactions that have happened from different clients. These are obviously numbers that we have like set up with the help of our mock USDC contract. So to demonstrate that okay, you would have these kinds of events. And let me just share the GitHub link as well, so that you can have a look at the code. By the way, GitHub reminds me that we have a new templates repository here with a few default templates, and it's open to PRs. If any of you are building anything using Kwala, open PRs here if you want them reviewed by us and merged into the official directory. And going to our use case, which is the merchant dashboard, I'll just paste this on the YouTube chat as well, and it has also got the link of the live dashboard which we have deployed, so you can try it out. And there's a whole description of how this whole thing works. The first workflow which does the classification, and the second one which syncs everything off chain, and which can also do a webhook post API call. Yeah, so that's about it, I think, for today. Would love your feedback, and love if you want to try this out. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Cheers. Let me know if there are any questions. Drop it in the YouTube chat or join our Discord for any other questions. Okay, see ya. Bye bye.